some chippy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that 3 days a week. Getting better. It's just now my knees. are not
Next
what
meeting
it
will be
should
going
be.
on in just a few
I've
minutes.
had one place. I'm not gonna have any more. I've had all I want.
Coming for her. I don't know her. She was down around the corner, but it took forever to get down the road because of the construction and traffic.
Where'd everybody go?
They're on the corner on Windsor.
Ready for the next one. Ready for that? Done, start the cycle. Start the cycle.
Yeah, the opposite corner.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I know Jim. I know Jim, she lives there, and I thought it was him, so I was like. Yeah. Yeah, she was a week ago. The North Fall? No, he's pretty steady. Okay, I didn't think so. Just came here with the.
Hey, Patrick, we're gonna start here in a minute.
Sometime in June, July.
It's 6:30, so we are going to get started with the board meeting for the month of October. We're here at the Pine Ridge Fort Myers Village Country Club, Condominium Association, and we're going to go ahead and get started. It is October 15th, 2025, 6:30, and we're at 4801 Lakeside Club Boulevard in lovely Fort Myers, Florida, 33905. So we'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Eric is going to do the roll call
Andy Levin. Here. Michelle Camp.
here.
Deb Kyden.
Here.
Patrick Madigan. Here. Brian Knapp. Bill England.
Here.
Sharon Osborne.
Here.
Everyone is present.
Awesome. Eric, was the proper notice given?
Yes, it was.
And we're going to waive or read the minutes from the previous meeting. I was not here, so can I get a motion that we read or waive?
Make a motion to waive the minutes of the last meeting, September.
Okay.
I will second it.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, any argument, any dissension? No? Everybody aye? All right.
Aye.
Good. All right, manager's report. Eric, what you got for us?
So this past month has been pretty busy for me running around here. We've got several ongoing projects like the fiber optic installation, working a lot on that, working on the budget, which is always a challenge. This year's a little more challenging in some ways, but a little easier in other ways. Landscape improvements we've been working on, as well as many, many other things. But those specific projects, the bigger projects, I think the board members are going to address, so I'm going to skip over that. some things that I want to talk about is the construction on Orange River Boulevard that has started. It is not ideal for us, certainly. We're in a tough situation because that is our main access corridor, really our only main access corridor in and out of town. I was already caught once where they weren't going to let me turn down Orange River to get to Pine Ridge. And I have a feeling things are going to happen throughout the project where that type of thing happens. So one thing I did want to talk about was if you are blocked out or blocked in type of thing, what is an alternative route that you can take? You don't have to go all the way down to Buckingham and come all the way around. What you can do is use Tice Road and Staley. So there's an exit off of Luckett Road. There's an exit off of Luckett Road. You can take that east to Country Lakes Boulevard, and you can cut through there down to Tice Road, and you turn right, go past the school to Staley, and turn left, and it will take you right to Orange River Boulevard, and then you can turn left again and go down to Pine Ridge, and you'll be a lot closer. The other way is to go east of the highway down to where there's a place called New York Tires and Wheels on the corner. That's Tice Street, and you can turn left there and take Tice Street all the way back around and through. Now, I don't think it's going to be normal that that's all shut down and blocked off, but I also don't want people getting stuck driving an extra 30 minutes for no reason. So I want you to be aware of alternate routes, be aware that things can happen. They're installing a sidewalk, but they're also updating the utilities and the piping. So I would imagine there's going to be some breaks every now and then, and things happen where they have to react, and we got to keep an eye on it. So I will keep you updated as I find out things. I will let you know. The project coordinator keeps me up to date as much, I guess, as they keep people up to date. But sometimes things are going to happen out there, and they're going to have to react, and we're not going to be notified ahead of time. So be aware, be really careful. There's still a lot of people walking from those gas stations and things like that, and riding bikes, and it's going to be a tough area for the next several months at least. So please be aware of it. The next thing I wanted to address is the property just to the east of Pine Ridge, where that commercial building is that used to be like a maintenance appliance repair building. That property and the property behind it is in the process of being acquired by Miranda Homes. Miranda Homes. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're I guess a national builder. They may not be in every state, but they're a national builder. And their plan is to build 78 townhomes on that parcel there. And a request that they had from us was they'd like the people to be able to drive, straight on Orange, continue straight on Orange River, almost like they're entering Pine Ridge, and then instead of entering into our gate, they would turn left into an entrance for their community. And I can understand why they would want that, because you don't have to drive by a lot of the derelict type housing that is right out there. So it would, perception when you're trying to sell houses would be better. But I don't think it would be good for Pine Ridge. I don't think anybody does. So I gave a copy of the letter that I wrote to them, and the impression I got from Mr. Martinez is this will be the end of their request, was this letter. But it just says, Miranda Homes, Mr. Martinez, nice speaking to you regarding the 78-unit townhome development your company is planning to develop on the property to the east of Pine Ridge and the access road through our private property, which was requested. On behalf of the Pine Ridge Condominium Association and its board of directors, I am hereby denying your request to install an access road from the new development into our community, as it would increase the traffic, create a potential hazard, and decrease the privacy and quiet enjoyment of our 462 homeowners, all of whom are senior citizens. If you have any other questions, please contact me, Eric Ray, manager on behalf of the board of directors. So that's where that has been left. Just so everybody's aware of it. They are looking at development there, 78 townhome units, so 78 more. I will keep you updated as I find out more information as far as timelines, approvals, if it's actually gonna go through or not, you know.
That's 78 more cars. Yay.
Well, 2 cars per house sometimes. But that's why we couldn't have it coming out of ours. You took 78 houses, that's 150 cars. Now you're adding left turns and right turns and everything else when we already have a busy exit and entrance. You know, and to make Mr. Miranda more money, who's already, you know, doing very well from what I can see. So that's that. We had to work on the pool access, the card readers on the inside of the pool. We had one quit working, and we got it back going again, and then a week later, the other one quit working. So that was, and then the fountain on the south end of the lake, that was needed a repair also. They came out and finally repaired that. It's frustrating sometimes when you have some of these specialized vendors. You can take them a week or 2 to get here, and then 10 minutes to fix the problem, but I guess that's the way it goes. That's the whole thing about knowing where to bang the hammer on the machine to get it going. So Lee County has started to require us to install these backflow valves on the plumbing meters. They had us do one earlier this year off of Lakeside Club Boulevard. Talked about this last month, and they cited us for 11 more on Blackberry Drive. And so we talked about that last month. They're now complete, the installation of those. And we need to be ready because it's not official. We haven't gotten any letters, but my understanding is there's like 30 more meters in here, and they're gonna make us do all of them. So let's wait and see what happens before we get upset about it. But I think, and the purpose of it is if there's ever a break in the line is to protect your line from getting any dirt and things in it, and to protect the county lines from getting any dirt and things in it. So newer homes, I think, come with them, but interesting that we made it for so long without them, and now we need them. So,
That's because they're doing
yeah, so they're, and your company does them, you said they're quite a bit more expensive. The first one that we did was around $2,000, and we had 11 of them. And then these have to also be certified by a third party. So it's like $150 for the certification on top of it. So including the permit and the certification and everything, we got them down to $1,350, which was
A phenomenal price.
a very good price. But times 11 is $14,000. So, so that's complete. So the next thing we're doing is, they're not the most beautiful things to look at in your front yard either. So we're going to maybe plant some shrubbery around it to mask it a little bit and move forward from there. That's.
Can I ask one question about
Yeah.
those things? I'm sorry, but I know I was talking to Dave Johnson. He made a comment that since he's here, he heard like a squeal in his house and he couldn't figure out what it was. And it was coming out of he had actually turned water on in his bathroom
Mhm.
in order it was like a pressure thing. Have you heard anything from anybody else that there's been issues with pressure?
No, I haven't heard anything from anyone else. One of them had something must have got some gunk or something must have got in it, like dirt, because one of them was dripping water that's coming out to fix. But nobody said anything about pressure to me at least. Now it doesn't mean it's not there. So if you
Okay.
live on Blackberry.
Well, I asked David to talk to you, so I'm going to
Everything
remind
has
him that
changed.
maybe if he's coming out to check something, he can just double check on theirs if it's still happening.
Yeah.
They had just gone in, so let's see if it's still happening.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So the last thing that I want to talk about is the trash service. And we've been talking about garbage and recycle bins and all that stuff for many years up at this table. And we think we finally got the garbage bins. We got the fences around them. That's good. One problem that we've had is the Treasure Palace or bulk trash. We called it the Treasure Palace last year. So we've been working with the trash company. We've got a real good account executive there now, and we're set up for bulk trash pickup every Thursday, starting hopefully this Thursday, okay? That means still no appliances, they're not gonna take them, and no hazardous waste or construction debris. This is for, you know, if you got a new piece of furniture and you're gonna take the old one out or something like that. It's not for dumping, it's for, you know, general household throwaway of large items. But it'll be Thursdays, and we won't have that area full of trash for long periods of time anymore, which I'm very happy about. The other thing is we're heading into the fall and winter. So beginning right around the 1st of November, you're gonna have trash pickup go to twice per week, okay? The last thing though that needs to be addressed is the recycling. We have a major problem with the recycling right now. The problem that we had before was we didn't like the way it looked back there, which was a problem, but now the thing has deteriorated where garbage is getting, or recyclables are getting out of the bottom. There's holes all rusted through it. We reached out to the company to have it repaired, and they're saying it's not their container, it's our container. And then the company that they have that repairs it wants somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 to repair it. And I just can't see repairing a rusty old dumpster that we don't like anyway for $5,000. So we met with the trash company that does our trash. Trash is governed by the county. You have to use whomever the county has the contract with. Recycling is through the open market, so you can use whoever you want. So we had our trash company, who we're already a good customer of, come out. She took a look at everything that we have, and this is what was suggested. So we're not going to pay $5,000 to repair a garbage container, right? And since our current vendor had no interest in helping us out, Andy and I met with Lisa Casado, who is the major accounts executive for Waste Pro. She took a look at everything we have so we could assess our needs and actually get what we need. During her visit, the first thing she did when she looked in our recycle bin is she said, almost none of what we are recycling, because of the manner that we're doing it, is actually ultimately being recycled. It's almost all of it is being dumped in the dump. And the reason is because we're co-mingling contaminated recyclables. So to them, like this soda bottle, like we've got at the pool recycle bins, which is, I think, I always thought was the right thing, but this soda bottle, if I drink the soda and it's empty and I throw it in the recycle, to them, that's no good. It's got to be washed. And then we're mixing in all sorts of other things, plastics that aren't this type of plastic and things like that. And it's making it really tough. Now, the thing that does get recycled, if it's clean and good, is cardboard. And cardboard, with the way the economy is now, with people, Amazon and everything else, cardboard is more and more and more. It's not only once in a while you have a cardboard box. Some people, it's every single day they have 5 cardboard boxes. So cardboard, not only is that the main problem, keeping it out of the regular dumpsters and in the recycle is very helpful to have room for your regular garbage. It's also a commodity that that really does get recycled. So this dumpster that we have back here will be going away. It'll be going to the scrapyard. There will be a new dumpster coming in. It's going to be maybe not exactly like this, but something like this, which is similar to what we have, but you can see the openings are slots like for flattened boxes, you know, if you could slide them right in. And it is going to be cardboard only, okay? Doing it this way, all the cardboard will be recycled, and we're also going to be entitled to a rebate of 50% of the yellow sheet market price per ton of cardboard. It's not going to be a ton of money, but for every ton of cardboard we recycle, we're gonna get $5. So you get a check every month. You get a check every month. But,
Like one PJ's, you get $5
no, but if we end up getting $15 a month, that's $15 a month, right? Then
Yeah,
For your-
that says plus the environment.
for your commingled stuff, for your cans and for your bottles, etc., there's going to be 96-gallon totes out there provided like this, and that is where those must be put in. Okay, we're still going to have recycling for that, with the understanding that 100% of it isn't going to be recycled, but we're still going to offer it because I think it's important, and I've always been proud of the fact that our community recycles so much more than most. And Lisa was impressed with that, Andy, wasn't she? So we definitely don't want to not have it. So there's going to be several large containers like this, similar to this. Is just illustration here, but that's going to be the recycle situation. So
Where are they gonna be?
it's going to be in the same location that it is.
Can we move that dumpster back so we open up that parking lot a little more? We have
Depending-
a lot of events there.
Depending on what we can do, we'll do it, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. We'll see.
There's that empty lot behind the bushes there. We just moved it back there, just straight back.
Yeah, we're going to talk to the truck driver and the company, and whatever they can do. I understand the outcome, the goal that people have of getting a little more space out there. So if we can do it, we'll do it. But if we can't do it, don't be upset. You know, it's going to be what it is. So the 96-gallon flip tops are going to be for your cans, bottles, other assorted recyclables. No plastic bags. Still, the plastic bags cannot be recycled. The cardboard, we have to make sure it's only cardboard. If we don't do that, we would get fined $75. So we've got to stick with cardboard only.
Cereal boxes.
Cereal boxes, clean would be okay. They say pizza boxes, like with grease and stuff on the bottom, they don't want, okay? But
Say that again. They don't want.
like pizza boxes, things that are dirty with, like, if you wouldn't want it like chopped up made into another box because of whatever's on it, use your common sense and throw it away, you know?
Anything that has food on it, dump it in there.
Anything that has food on it or is dirty can't be, right. If they're gonna recycle it, it's gotta come in, I guess, clean, so.
So can I ask a question, Eric?
Sure.
When we have our social events out in the parking lot,
Mhm.
and people are drinking sodas,
Mhm.
waters, or beer, or whatever, they need to then take those and rinse them before they put them in the bin, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they can rinse them, or if they wanna throw them in the totes, they're gonna sort through that separately. It might get thrown away, it might not. If you don't rinse it, though, it's almost guaranteed to get thrown away. So, you know, you can make your decision, yeah. I don't think it's realistic to expect every time someone finishes a beer, they're gonna come into the kitchen or the bathroom, rinse it out, and then take it back. I mean, but it sure would be nice, you know, if everybody did that. I mean, every little bit counts, I guess. But the main thing is the big dumpster is gonna be cardboard, and that's the main problem is cardboard. It's gonna have slots that are set up such that you kind of have to break the box down. So the problem of people not breaking their boxes down should resolve itself by that. And we're going to be talking about this a lot because it's going to be an adjustment for people. And I know I'm just springing it on everybody here tonight, but we'll be talking about it a lot. Lisa is going to come into one of our board meetings that'll be more attended in the winter here. And she's going to go over it and explain to everybody why it's like that. But, you know, we definitely want to keep recycling. I'm a big believer in recycling. I think it's important. But we're going to start recycling the right way so it really gets recycled. And we're not going to have dumpsters with holes in the bottom, spreading trash all over the place, which is going to be nice.
How many totes will there be?
We're going to start out, I think, with 8. And if 8 is needed, we'll stick with 8. I think maybe 8 might be too many, but we're going to start with 8. So, and they're 96 gallons each. So they're big
And they'll be picked up weekly.
weekly.
Those you're gonna use in the pool area?
I'm sorry?
Will you use those in the pool area too?
No, what's in the pool area will stay in the pool area, yeah. But your cardboard boxes, take them to the cardboard. Your bottles and cans you can throw in the pool area, recycle or trash can.
So if people don't want to, I'm just asking, but if people don't want to rinse out their Coke bottles or rinse out their mayonnaise or whatever, don't even put it in there, throw it in the trash. Is that correct?
Right, yeah.
I mean, the expectation that they're setting is if you're not putting in rinsed out stuff, it's not being recycled. How much of that is them wanting us to rinse it out, but they're gonna recycle some of this stuff anyway? I don't know.
The only bottle you don't need to rinse out is a water bottle.
Yeah, the main thing is the cardboard is what they're mainly recycling. I thought aluminum was a big one, but cardboard is really what they want. And that's definitely getting recycled. Cans and bottles, 50-50, but I'd rather have a 50% chance of it doing well than you know.
So are we going to tell people that they should rinse it before? I kind of feel like you're not going to know. Somebody else is
Yeah.
going to pick through it anyhow. I think we should just say, put your bottles and cans in those totes, not in the other thing.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
mean,
is strictly cardboard. You're
one-
not going to get people to.
Because nobody's going to be rinsing them out just because people aren't doing that. And an option that we have is to not offer recycling for cans and bottles, and only focus on the cardboard, which is an option. But I think that we have some people who really believe in recycling. Having it and at least trying is worth something to us. So
Now,
let's.
what about the paper that comes inside an Amazon box being packed? What is that considered?
Is it like newspaper type of paper, or does it?
Like the brown paper, that,
Yeah.
like
I think those are
paper
good
bag.
questions
Like
for
a
the
paper
gal
bag,
when we
yeah.
have her come visit.
Brown
Paper
craft
bag.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brown paper is probably okay, but
Is that
I
considered cardboard or is that considered regular?
guess we'll get some clarification on
Yeah,
that.
I think those are great questions that the girl will be able to answer.
In the meantime, maybe let's start with cardboard only, and let's keep the extra stuff in the separate bins. But it's really cardboard is what they're recycling.
So there'll be a bin of paper as well.
There'll be a bin for commingled items. Commingled items.
Paper into it.
You can put it.
Okay.
You can commingle it. Yeah. Commingle it. I question a lot of it too. I mean, I see, like, if you go to the mall and you're walking, they'll have recycle, trash, they'll have the 3 different bins. Well, if everyone's throwing their Coke bottles in the recycle, then how's any of that getting, is it all a dog and pony show, or is it any of it real? I don't know. I'm just relaying the information to you guys, but I think this cardboard system is going to be really helpful because it'll make sure the boxes are folded down, and it makes sure, even if you do throw your bottles and cans in the garbage, it keeps the big stuff out of the dumpsters and clear. So combination of bulk trash coming back and this new recycling procedure, I think, is going to be a good thing. Anything's better than what we got now, because what we have now is not. We can't stay like that.
The totes are cast in stone. If we have to change it down the road, we change it.
Yeah.
We find out people are putting the garbage in there because it looks like a garbage can.
If we have to change it, I mean, ideally, what I would personally like to see is totes for recycling that are near the dumpsters where you take out your trash, and you could throw your cans and bottles there and not have to make 2 separate trips. And your cardboard boxes, when you get a shipment from Amazon, you bring the box down to the big dumpster here. That's what I would like to see. Whether we can get to that or not, I'll work on it. I think that would be ideal if you could have 1 bag of cans, and 1 bag, and you empty the bag into the dump, into the recycle bin, and it's right next to your big dumpster. That's just common sense to not have to make an extra trip, convenience for people. But I'll work on getting them to agree to that. All right, next, I'm done.
You're done? Okay, thank you. Well, I do see some faces back from up north, so welcome to all of the seasonals that have come back so far. We're glad to see you, and hopefully as you came in the gate, you just saw everything so green and lush and all the beautiful things that we've accomplished since you last were here. So hopefully everybody's been pleased with what's been done thus far. So, and I want to thank Eric for all of the things that he has managed to get done. He has really worked hard. He and Andy, especially with the Comcast, and I know a lot of his time was taken up with going into the units that have, where nobody was here and making certain that the guys had access to do what they needed to do. So thank you to him and Andy for the follow-up on that. I don't have a lot, to be honest with you, but this week, an issue rose with regard to dogs. So I'm just going to talk dogs for a moment. Just from the standpoint that dogs don't always get along with all other dogs. Don't know why, they just don't. People don't get along with all other people. Don't know why, but we just don't, right? We all have different personalities. But dogs in particular, and in a community like ours where a lot of seniors rescue dogs, and you get a rescue, there's a lot of history that goes with that dog that you just really don't know about. So sometimes you could be walking a dog and someone walks past you with a hat, and all of a sudden the dog goes crazy when they are lovey-dovey to everybody else. But you don't know what the history was with somebody with a hat. Or maybe they were always with a female and now there's a male there and there's problems. So I don't speak canine, so I really, you can never ask a dog what the problem is. But sometimes dogs don't get along. And this past week, I had a situation arise where apparently a couple of dogs didn't get along. And so it was brought to the attention of the board with great concern. But what I did find out is that the dogs must always be on a leash and the leash must always be in your hand. And apparently in one particular case, that was not necessarily happening. And I would also suggest to all dog owners that when you're walking your dog, if possible, have them on that harness thing so that they can't even pull out of their leash, because there was also demonstration that a dog pulled out of his leash. He got it off of his neck when another dog was near, and they are dogs that don't like to get along. So that being said, it is each owner's responsibility to have control of their animal at all times. Always on a leash when you're outside of your own unit, and always the leash in your hand. You're responsible for that animal. So I'm making that quite plain. And particularly if you know your animal has a problem, like my Beagle did not like Val's Cocker Spaniel. I don't know why, but every time my Beagle would be outside, he could see her dog on the other side of the lake and they both would start barking. So I knew as they got closer, take my dog in. That was my responsibility. I just needed to avoid the conflict, right? That's my responsibility as an owner, for the sake not only of me and the other person walking their dog, but for the sake of the dog. It just puts stress on an animal. And why, one moment, please. Why are we doing that? Why would we put stress on an animal? It's not right. So if you know your dog has a problem, and I'm saying this for everybody who's watching, you know your dog has a problem, do what you can to avoid the situation. If the dog's going this way, you go that way. If the dog happens to live on your same level of floor, go down different stairs. Kind of find out when that particular other person's going to walk their dog. Just do what you can to avoid the situation. So that's my saga about dogs. I'm just reminding everybody it is the owner's responsibility always to keep their dog on a leash and always to have the dog under their control. Okay, I said it. It's done. And any questions, feel free to ask me about it. So honestly, that's all I had. So if you had a question about the dogs?
No, I was just going to say something about dogs, that they can't defend themselves when they are leashed. So
They
that's,
shouldn't have to defend
no,
themselves.
but the dog as a dog, okay? Dogs are wild, so their normal way of defending themselves, they can't normally defend themselves when they are leashed. So a lot of times when I used to walk my neighborhood, if dogs have problems, you pick your dog up and just hold on to it.
Right, because you're a
Right.
responsible owner.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Yep.
I'm just, the other people, that's what they should be thinking of, that the dog can't defend itself because it's on a leash. We are,
Right,
so
Right.
that's all I was basically saying about that, as to
Thank
why they sometimes go at each other because they're already in a precarious position
Yeah.
because they're on a leash.
right, thank you. Yeah, no, so that's it. That really is, I have something I need to read from Leanne Nesbitt. She could not be here tonight. She asked me to read it. Give me a half a second here. That's for you. Well, I took it out. What'd I do with you, Leanne? I really am very organized. I even took there's a picture and everything. Well, Leanne, I'm so sorry. Basically, she wanted to say thank you again for everything that's being donated through the cooperative, the community cooperative. And she's reminding people, and once I find it all, I'll post it on the board. But she's reminding everybody that if you go to Publix, particularly for peanut butter and jelly and that sort of thing, and you see BOGOs for the kind of stuff that, people would like, pick them up and be willing to donate the get one free part, or either you give them the one you paid for and you keep the get one free. It's however it works for you. Whatever makes you feel good about it, you do it that way. So she's been phenomenal. She and her husband, Norm. Oh, I found it. Oh, I knew it. There you go. Okay, so this is what she said. Sorry, I'm not here in person. I wanted to thank you all again for your continued support of the community cooperative. As a reminder that they, which includes Meals on Wheels, are totally supported by us and our neighbors in Lee County. Total food donation for Pine Ridge was 2,400 pounds since the Super Bowl drive. Our partnership with Community Cooperative has expanded with our commitment to Meals on Wheels. She and Norm have been offering ride-alongs to people to see if the wonders of Meals on Wheels, Pine Ridge has had 3 drivers delivering, and now we have 2 more. So there's a total of 5 drivers out of our community. She's still looking for volunteers. Norm and I are the only drivers who do our route, and the other 4 days are a scramble. And today, the 3rd Wednesday of the month, I deliver a bag of groceries and pet food to 4 of my 12 people. Today was a little busier. One client had a broken phone and was in a panic. We had to call her pharmacy in order to order her heart medicine, spend extra time with a few of them just chatting. We're the only people some of these people see each day. One more suggestion for our food collection, the BOGO at Publix. Grab it. We have a friend who watches for sales at Walmart, 50 cents on a can of vegetables, $1 for a can of SpaghettiOs. Think about it. And finally, a big thank you. We're feeding the hungry children up to the aged. Big hugs. Love, Leanne. So, yeah, and they're doing great. And you know what? Pine Ridge is doing great too. So I say thank you as well. And that's all that I have. Mr. Bill,
Ma'am?
you got a treasurer's report for us?
Oh, yeah, I have a 3-page report.
All right.
First of all, I was gonna say, glad to see everybody out tonight and welcome everybody, and the ones that's come back in so far, welcome you also. The association finances remain stable and in great condition. Regular assessment collections are on track and we remain on budget on nearly all expenses, and no major unplanned costs have occurred during this period. As we discussed last month, the association's final settlement with our disputed claim with our insurance company, I'll just put it that way. We got a little bit of money from them, which ended up being $2.75 million. After legal fees and other costs, the association was able to net $2.2 million. And we had a check for that. The amount exceeds what all of us had anticipated while we were going through this long process. We are thankful to Eric and his team of professionals for working so diligently to secure this large settlement, which took over 3 years to resolve. And if it hadn't been for, I would say that if it hadn't been for Eric and the people that he has picked up along the way and met with and had conversations with, this never would have happened. It started with the last board we had, and like I said, it took 3 years to resolve, but we stayed diligent with it and didn't give up on them, which they wanted us to, but we stayed with them. And like again, I said, it's Eric's the one that led that. So I appreciate everything you've done, and along with the community, and I'm sure they do too. 2.2 million. Thanks. Following receipt of the $2.2 million insurance settlement, the association has invested these funds in a group of brokered certificates of deposit with yields ranging between 4.0 and 4.5%. These investments are with Fidelity, combined with what we had invested prior to the new funds, now total over 3.4 million. These investments vehicles are insured and structured to provide both safety and steady returns, supporting the association's long-term financial stability. We also held 2 successful budget meetings, and at this point, it appears the association is in good shape for next year's budget. There are a few additional items that we are working on related to the reserves, and that has to still be incorporated into the budget before we finalize the numbers and present them to the community at next month's meeting. We hope to have those done to give you a kind of a clue what's going on, but it's going to be next month, and we'll have the finals on that then. But it's looking good, though. I'll just put it that way. Delinquent accounts remain minimal and are being managed in accordance with the association's policy. Overall, the association continues to maintain a strong financial position with prudent budgeting, responsible spending, and sound investment practices in place to ensure continued stability. If anyone is interested in reviewing the financial statements in greater detail, please let me know and I'll provide you with that information. Again, I thank you. Oh yeah, the September balance sheet is on the table when you come in. If you didn't pick you up a copy of it. We just got that today, so it's there.
Thank you. When is the next budget meeting?
We'll have it when we have the finals come in on November next meeting.
Okay.
It'll just all be together.
Okay. Okay, some committee, thank you, Phil. Some committee reports. Sharon, you got
Sure,
landscape
yeah.
committee?
Yep. First of all, I want to thank Eric, Bruce, and Lydia. I mean, they have done over the past 3 or 4 months amazing work to get all of our work orders caught up for landscaping. And we've seen all the new bushes, and they're still planting out there.
Hold the mic closer. Hold the mic closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate this thing. Okay, so the recent work that's been completed is the fall trimming of the trees has been completed. There's about 200 plants that have been purchased, and 90% of those have been installed so far. The irrigation system was inspected and minor leaks were repaired. And I know I've heard from a couple of people, and Eric is addressing with broken sprinkler heads, so they're working on that too. Upcoming projects, mulching, for the end of the year. We will do it by the end of the year. Replacement of dead or damaged plants identified during a walkthrough. Planting bushes to hide, the backflow belts that we already talked about. And our spending the current spending with all of that we've done this year and that we're continuing to do, it remains within the approved budget from last year and going forward. So, I hope that you all are pleased with it, and it would really be helpful because we've kind of been tracking work orders. And if you possibly can, and there's a lot of people now who use the front steps so that we can do our work orders on it. If you do that, it makes it easier for Lydia and for us to take a look at any given time of what we have outstanding and what we need to move forward on. So if you could do that, if you don't know how to use front steps, there's quite a few of us around that do, so we'll help you, go in. Step sheet.
I have no clue.
I'll help you with front
We
steps.
never heard of Brad, never heard of
What are you
it.
talking about?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
That's why you haven't gotten any reaction in your concept.
Andy, you got a
The fiber optic installation project with Xfinity continues to move forward.
Let's see. There we go. Yep. All right.
Okay, we start. The fiber optic installation project with Xfinity continues to move forward smoothly and remains on schedule. At this point, installation work has been completed in about 75% of the units and actually 99% of the condo units. And Xfinity anticipates finishing the remaining installations over the next couple of months, depending on the weather and access. Over the past few weeks, we've had several productive meetings with Xfinity's management team to review progress and address coordination issues. As a result of those discussions, Xfinity will now be providing more direct on-site supervision throughout the remainder of the project. This additional oversight should help streamline the process and ease some of the workload that has been falling on Eric, and it really has, who has done an outstanding job keeping everything organized and moving forward up to this point. I'm also continuing to make myself available as much as possible to assist with unit access and communication between residents and Xfinity to help ensure that the final phase of the project goes as smoothly as possible. Restoration and cleanup efforts are being handled promptly, and the overall quality of the work remains high. In summary, the project remains on time, within budget, and continues to progress well. With Xfinity's increased involvement and Eric's ongoing oversight, we expect successful completion and full fiber service available for all units within the next few months. Me, Andy.
Very good.
I just want to say thank you, Andy, for all your help. Andy's been a big help to me. I've been running all over the place, and they threw a lot on me because they didn't have necessarily the right supervision, but Andy has been right there with me, and I couldn't have done it without your help, Andy, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Would you explain what the installation process is there for them, that it's not complete, that just that portion of it is, so that, you know what I mean, where it's not finalized inside yet?
No, we're in stage 2, which is the fiber being put into the buildings but not connected. When all the fiber is in all the buildings, then another team from Xfinity, the fiber optic team, will come in and they will install each and every unit with new equipment. And
That's where you'll call and make an appointment at your own convenience.
Yeah.
For them to come in.
And that'll be stage 3.
that's stage 3, and that'll be a good one.
We'll let you know when it gets to that point. The letters are coming out.
Thank you. Brian, you still with us?
Right.
You got anything for safety committee?
I have no report from the safety committee. The website committee it may look a little different in the future. I'm still under investigation.
Okay.
Update you next month.
Yeah, okay. It's like, oh. Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Brian. Do we have anything on the lake, Bill, or?
Yeah, just one thing, as you know, the last 3 months, 4 months, I guess it is, we haven't done any fertilizing or so forth during that period. That is one of the mandates that the county has put out to help protect our lakes. And the lake, the phosphorus has always been high due to the amount of turtles we have there and other little odds and ends animals that comes along and dumps whatever they want to dump, you know, so. But even though it was a little high then, it was still within normal range. The lake's looking pretty good. Like I said, those numbers just went down a little bit during this period where we don't have the fertilization going on. So the only other thing, we still have some lights out on the right-hand side of the lake. I think they're going to be working on those.
He's got almost all of them, actually. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2, but he's got almost all of them.
And the, like Eric had said a while ago, the fountain is back in operation, which everyone seems to like the fountain for some reason. I don't know, but it must fascinate some. I don't know. But I like it too, though, don't get me wrong. But both of them's working, and
We're going to keep it that way.
yeah, we want to try to keep it that way. And that's really the only one we have problems out of, is one on this end of the lake, and I don't know why, and it's in the deepest of the water, so. But anyway, that's all I have. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. Deb, do you have anything you want to contribute?
No, we had an issue, but I spoke with Ryan about it and nothing has been pursued.
Okay, sounds good. Patrick, you have anything for your offering?
Patrick, no.
I think everything's going great.
Okay,
Great.
all right, super. Well, then let's move to old business. Take a look at the walking path extension that we talked about. Eric, you wanna?
So, last month we didn't have everybody here, but the month before that, the board had asked me to do some diligence on the walking path extension that has been talked about for a few years, that would connect the bicycle or walk path to Sailview Court. And I developed a little map to kind of show you what it would be. It was available on the way in. And basically it would come off the end cap of the path there on the southeast corner or northeast corner, and take a little bit of a curve, very much the way the carts have been driving if you look at the tire path, and then kind of S back and connect back into Sailview. One of the reasons for this design is to keep it away from any trees with heavy tree roots that would mess it up, like our other path had been messed up at times. And also to consider how much asphalt are we using. Like, the cost is based on how long it is. So we want to still keep a big open space there, a park-like space, but also not use double the amount that we would need. So this is, we think, the best design. We went out there with a couple of different designs. And if you take this map out there and look at it, it's pretty much natural. Purpose of the project, this will be voted on at the annual meeting in your proxy. Purpose of the project is to connect the loop that many residents travel in a safe and attractive way. As part of this project, landscape improvements will be made to make sure it looks nice at the end. The length of the path is going to be approximately 170 feet. The width will be around 6.5 feet. It comes out to about 1,100 square feet in total. It needs excavation of grass and subbase, installation of and compaction of base rock, and then the installation of the hot asphalt mix. The total budget for this would be $20,000.
Is the current path 6.5 feet? That we,
It's a little over about 6.5 feet. That's about how wide the machine is. That's why.
okay. All right, well, we'll see what happens then when the proxy goes out, whether people want it or they don't want it, so.
Michelle, maybe it would help, I don't know who was here for the last time we had this discussion about why we have to do a proxy on this.
So the documents have, there's a provision in our declaration that says the board has the authority to make capital improvements, which means like adding something new. So like we redid the pool that we already had. Obviously redoing the pool and the pavers and the deck and everything, that was well over $100,000. That was renovating the pool that we had. But when you're adding something new, the board has a limit of $10,000. Anything over that has to be voted on by the people. And the reason is because you're not supposed to have 7 people up here with an open checkbook that can build anything they want, wherever they want. It's supposed to be maintain what you have when you're an association, really. It's not to build castles. But sometimes there are situations where if we know a lot of people walk a certain way and we can make it a little safer, why wouldn't we at least pursue that? So, but the general idea is you maintain what you have in a first-class way. You don't, rebuild everything from scratch. And that's what the idea is with that limit.
Okay, thank you for that explanation.
10,000 might be a little, we changed it from 2,500 about 10 or 12 years ago to 10,000. It had been 2,500 since the 80s. Maybe that's something to revisit. You guys can think about that and kind of give your feedback to some of the board members, whether 10,000 is too little, but still, it's a lot of money for a project, 10,000. As an example for comparison, when we put in the sidewalk off of Winter Club to connect it to Blackberry, that was 7,500. So.
Thank you. All right, no other old business. Let's look at the new business. You're going to review the schedule for the next upcoming months,
Yeah. Yep.
and then we'll
Can't believe it's that time of year again already, but it is time for the end of the year annual meeting. And I wanted to go over the important dates with everyone because some of you may be interested in running for the board. Others may be interested in volunteering to help. I know everybody's going to be interested in the results. So November 19th is next month's board meeting. At that meeting, we're going to have the budget packet ready to be mailed or picked up. Other than your budget, included in that packet that's important for you to know is it includes the intent to run for the board of directors form. If you want to run for the board, you need to fill out and submit that form by December 8th, 2025. December 8th, 2025. So you have 2.5-3 weeks to decide from when you get your packet. And we got to receive your intent to run by that date. Along with the intent to run, you can submit a 1-page information sheet with your background and why you want to be on the board and that type of thing. On December 17th, 2025, that will be the December board meeting. It will also be the budget meeting. That's when the board will approve or disapprove the proposed 2026 budgets. At that meeting, we will have ready the annual meeting mailer, which will include the proxy vote, which is going to be some important proxy questions, including the pathway that we just talked about on there. And it's also going to have your ballot for the election, and then a series of envelopes that if you've been here, you're familiar with. And everything's got to be submitted exactly as the instructions are. So when those instructions come out, I'll be reviewing them multiple times, probably up here, to make sure everybody hopefully does it correctly. But that's December 17th. So if you want to run for the board, you got to let us know by the 8th. December 17th is when everything will go out to the people. Now, January 6th is a Tuesday evening. and we've scheduled Meet the Candidates night. That's when the people running for the board will come up here and answer some questions from the audience, let you know why they want to be on the board, a little background about themselves, and it's a good chance to meet and get to know who the people are that are running for your board.
How many spots?
3.
It's going to be 3 spots. So January 6th, meet the candidates. January 21st is going to be the annual members meeting and the election. That'll be the announcement of the vote, proxy vote results. It'll also be the counting of the ballots for the board election. As you guys know, the counting of the votes, depending on how many candidates we have, we could need maybe 9, 10, 11 volunteers to do that. So if you're interested in volunteering, when it gets closer, we'll put a sign-up sheet up for that. And the only rules we have, we don't want any current board members, we don't want any candidates running or spouses of current candidates or board members. So other than that, anybody else is eligible to count. Not that we think anybody would do any funny business anyway, but just to be safe, yeah. So that's January 21st is when the board election will happen, and then immediately following that election, the board will have their organizational meeting and decide who will be what officer. But I just want everyone to have those dates clearly written out so you know when the deadlines are and when these important things are happening. That will set the direction for the community for the next year, so it's important.
Thank you. Let's move to the open forum. Do we have somebody that wants to come up? Barb
Jacks.
Barb Jacks. Barb Jacks, no. Not going on. Is it on? No, it's not working.
I think it's fine. Oh, that's somebody else.
Barb Jacks, still not on. There we go. Barb Jacks, 9540 Green Cypress Lane. I'm also the social club president. So I'm going to first start off with some social club things going on. We are starting to gear up. We will have trivia on Saturday, the 25th at 6:30. We had a request by the men of the community that they wanted trivia on a Saturday night, not to interfere with Sunday night football. So we're going to try it and see what happens. We also have a CPR class coming up on the 28th at 1 p.m. You need to sign up if you'd like to do that. We have a Halloween party on the 31st that's free, and a lot of the usual events that we have throughout the year. But we do have a craft fair and a hot dog sale on the 8th of November. Veterans Day is the 11th of November, and there will be a reception here in the clubhouse for our veterans. We know that we have a lot of new people to our community. If you are a veteran, please get your picture and information as to what service you were in, so we can get it on the slideshow. We have gotten some, Bonnie Robertson is taking care of that, and we're getting some help, outside help, in putting that on. We also have a rock and roll dance party on the 16th, and that's free. So we're trying to do more free events, and we hope we can have more people coming. The final thing that I want to talk about for a social club is that the other night we started cornhole again, and the people that played decided they wanted hot dogs again. So we're going to start them early. We won't be doing it next week because I will be out of town, but we will start again on the 28th. And we invite anybody from the community that would like a hot dog, come on down for $2. It's a good deal. And the final thing is more on a personal note. The chairs in this community room are dangerous. I happened to be in one with dry rot the other night and it collapsed. I had bruises on my arms, on my back. I really feel after 2 years of tossing this around, we really need new chairs. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want any lawsuits happening. I'm a large woman, so bruises are one thing, but our other seniors could break something. So that's my concern. Thank you.
I'm glad to. And we have actually been looking at chairs, Barb, and we'll probably give some options to the social club to make a pick. Okay? Let's see. Tom Trino?
Present.
Thanks, Eric. First of all, I'm glad to see we got new microphones without cords to trip on. Makes Bill and I real happy.
That's right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Trino. I live at 4741 Blackberry Drive, and I'm a former board member. Just a couple comments. Like I said, the mics are great. Good move. I have a suggestion, just a personal issue. I think we're required by Robert's rules and by our bylaws to allow people to speak at the end of the meeting, addressing any subject for any topic that was discussed at the meeting. A number of years ago, we started the open forum at the beginning of the meeting to allow people to bring up a subject of any nature, not necessarily what was on the agenda, but of any matter that was of concern. Personally, I liked that. Oftentimes, people brought up things at the beginning of the meeting that could be addressed there at the meeting. And the aftermath, or the second part of that, is to reserve the ending speakers to be limited to subjects that were on that agenda. Seems to me that it's a little more convenient, and by the time you get to the end of the meeting, people are getting anxious. They're worried about the rain. They want to go home. They're tired. They don't necessarily pay attention. So anyway, I'm going to ask the board to reconsider going back to having two sessions where folks could speak. My second thing is this windfall of money that we've received. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone in the community understands this. This is 100% Eric Ray's doing. And the folks that were on last year's board, I mean, we lived with Eric for 3 years, and he hounded us and persisted and went after us. And I'll be honest, there wasn't a one of us that thought we'd ever see a damn dime out of this. And that's the truth. And none of the community did either. We all nodded our head and kind of placated Eric in his little mission. And you know what? We got $2.2 million. And that's a hell of a lot of money. I don't know how many people ever deal with those kind of numbers, but that is a ton. And we owe Eric a huge, huge gratitude for the work he's done. I think you all know I spent my career in the business world, in the world of commission, salespeople, and you just look at this deal and the amount of money that the adjuster made on this, the lawyer made, it's phenomenal. But they earned it. They did all the work. It's like a realtor. You pay a realtor 6%, 3%, on a $400,000 property. That's 20, 30 grand. Okay, here we got 2.2 million. And I sincerely hope the board is looking at a very hefty bonus for this young man who spent a lot of time, not requested by us, not required by us. In fact, he had to push us into it. And I think this community should give him a significant bonus. We owe him. In my business, had somebody brought me 2.2 million, I would have paid him 20%, which is 400 grand. Now, I'm not asking for that, obviously, because that's different. It's a private company, but something significant, 2, 3, 4, 5%. I don't know what that number is, but I'm asking the board to really consider this and look into it. Last item, I think we should raise that 10 grand limit for capital improvements to 20 grand. 10 years ago, gas was $1.25. Or 25. Yeah, I bought my unit here exactly 10 years ago for 120 grand. Now it's worth 250. A year ago it was worth 300. So things change. Last comment, totally personal. I haven't felt such elation in many, many years until this week when those hostages were released in Israel. And personally, I'm just a happy guy and glad that this country could contribute to world peace. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. My name is Ann Irvin. I live at 9520 Windsor Club Circle. I've been there for 24 years. And Michelle and Shannon, I want you to come and look at my backyard. I got some pictures out there. That probably is the worst it ever looked. But in 24 years there, 20 of it looked about that bad. And I'm asking you to look at our new, actually Eric and I figured out a few years ago that our survey, the part of where the church is ours, on the other side of that fence. And I think the reason they put the fence where they did is because there was a wooded area there. And I think they put the fence in front of the wooded area at the time and then our great previous boards made those people bulldoze down those trees. One of the most traumatic days yet of my life, my long life. Anyhow, but another story. I'm asking you to put a new fence along the survey line, and the fence is 30 years old, so you know it's falling down in many places anyhow, and clean up that mess there so that it is attractive and it looks nice, and we can get some of these delicious plants that have been gathered, that have been spread around. And so, because I spend a lot of time on my back porch and I look at that, and it's, in fact, I don't even spend much time back anymore because it's not pleasant to look at. Anyhow, I'm asking, that's new business. I understand that down the road, but I would seriously ask that you do something for we residents who live there and look out at that a lot of the time. Another question, I understand you changed the form. I wasn't aware of that, which is okay, my fault. But I want another question. Is this, has the meeting changed to a town hall where anybody says anything at any time or not?
No, it really hasn't, but we have had so few people at the meeting, it's probably gotten a little bit slightly more lax when there's questions rather than holding everybody to the end. So no, it's not a town hall meeting.
All right, okay. Well, I'm hoping not, because it just
I know,
prolongs the
you're
length
a
of the
real
meeting
stickler
and
with
it
it, I
just
get
drives me nuts anyhow, which is my fault. Also, the bonus, you better watch what you call it, because the state has made numerous rules about CAMs and what they can, if you give him like I don't know what it is, but you better check it out. I'm more than willing to say Merry Christmas and here's a nice Christmas gift, but you better be careful what we call it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. And I do want to come by and visit. I'm sure Sharon would. too.
Please do.
In fact, I'll call you tomorrow.
Bring your boots.
I'll call you tomorrow. Yes.
I know, I'm sure everybody, if we're putting a new fence up, obviously everybody's gonna get it, so.
Hey, please do come by.
Yeah, let me finish getting through the people that signed up over there.
Okay, my name is Verna Lemire. I'm at 9507 Windsor Club Circle. And I guess you can say this is probably old business because you've all gotten emails from me. I've put in several work orders and everything. And nothing's been done. And I feel like I'm being ignored with this because nobody gets back to me. So I've had this problem. It's damage from the roofers. And I have to have the bucket out. In one of the pictures here, I got the orange bucket. You might laugh at that. But that's, if it's under, when we get a rain, that bucket is 5-gallon bucket, fills up in less than 10 minutes. I don't leave a bucket out there. I only usually, after a rain, usually. But I have a waterfall coming off my roof and it's causing damage. And also in the backyard, I've had problems with the landscaping because it's higher than my foundation. And I'm getting mucky mud water under my door and inside. And I think a lot of people are getting this. I'm not sure, but I've got pictures here of the flood in the back. And it's every time it rains, and I have to deal with this. Now, I had somebody, a friend come just yesterday, and he checked in front for me, up on the gutter and everything. Now, this has nothing to do with what the roofers did, but it is clogged all the time. So Vicky, my neighbor, is out of town right now, but we went over to her side. He pulled the hose off from, because the gutter runs the whole length of the house. And he pulled the bottom off, totally clogged with leaves and everything. So
From the
he
downside,
pardon?
at the bottom,
No, up above. Yeah.
or like on the down.
Well, yeah,
on
he
the- on
pulled
the-
the bottom
On the
off, you know,
vertical,
so
on the
he could,
vertical piece. you're talking
he could, try to get some of the gunk out of there. And where Herm and I comes into V, he was able to clear that much. So he's hoping the next rain, we're hoping this weekend pours and some of my stuff will go and be able to flow through. But this is one of the problems, because my gutters have been cleaned twice. I've lived here for 2 years. And one time was after Milton. And I put in work orders. They're not cleaned in the back, they're not cleaned in the front. And I don't know if we're supposed to get up on the roof and clean those. I don't feel like going up there.
The schedule for cleaning, gutter cleaning.
We do it by request and then seasonally as needed, when all the leaves fall afterwards, we do it. But I know we've cleaned yours because we've been out there many times.
Who cleaned mine?
Bruce,
Well, Bruce
Matt,
cleaned
whoever-
it, yeah,
whoever.
after Milton. And then after the roof, they used a blower, of course, to get that out of there. That's the last time they've been free, is with the blower. That was in April. And because we're underneath all these oak trees, it gets pretty bad.
It probably does get to be a lot, I'm sure. But just like when you own something, it's your responsibility to take care of it. So and it would be yours to say, gee, it seems like it's clogged. Let me put a work order in if he's saying that it's done by request. So put a work order in if you think it hasn't been done in time. But I am going to say, Verna, one thing. When you say that you've been ignored and nobody's paid attention, I have seen your emails, I have seen your pictures, I know Eric has gone over there with the roofer. You've not been ignored. Okay, you may not be happy with the outcome, but you've not been ignored.
Eric and the roofer came, and the roofer worked on my roof in the first part of August. But it made it worse. It's worse than it was.
I know, and I'm not trying to shut you down, I just know that we need to continue to try and figure something out, but I don't know that you're gonna be.
Okay, so since then, I've sent the emails and I have filled out many work orders and I've gotten nothing. Nobody's paid any attention to the work order. I now have a leak in my garage. I haven't done that one yet. So
I know you've had conversations with Eric. He has shared with you some things that have been done, what could be done, what some of your options are.
What would you like done?
Yeah, like what is it that you feel like the association should do that they're not doing?
I've said this to Eric. Before the roofer made the damage, I didn't have all this waterfall coming down.
Well, when did you move in? January.
When did I move in?
When did you move in?
I moved in August 2 years ago. I've been here 2 years. And I have not had all this water pouring off my roof. It just, in fact, the last rain we had, was it 3 days ago? 3 days ago, we had, it was real sporadic rains. It rained and then it dried and it was kind of windy and stuff. And my whole front lanai, the whole patio was dry, except where this was dripping. I had an actual river going out. And that's what's happening, and it wasn't raining. And this morning, I had to put the buckets out. We haven't had rain for 3 days. I had to put the buckets out because I got condensation running off. I just want to get rid of the buckets. I want the damage fixed. I don't know what they have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we can fix condensation, to be real honest with you, but tell me what you would like for what do you feel the association should do?
I think they bent up the gutters so bad up there, and it's not going in the gutter. So something, I don't know if it's a flashing, I'm not a roofer. I'm just a person who didn't have
there, right? The roofer was out there with Eric. So did he explain what the issue was?
Did they admit to the walking on the cage?
The problem is because the gutter is screwed to the cage. So they can't remove, they don't want to get into that mess. But I didn't have this problem before, and I don't want it now.
Right, I hear you. And I think we'll look into it a little bit further. I don't want to take up everybody else's time with an issue like this because this is personal. But I do want you to know we're not trying to ignore you, not trying to dismiss you or anything.
We would love to resolve it.
Yeah, we want to resolve it in the right way. So we'll be in touch, trust me.
And I got
it to the board.
the back and everything on the end. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to take up people's time either, but I've been waiting since 8 months, is it?
I know. Okay. Well, thank you, Verna, and thanks for bringing the pictures down and everything. So
yeah.
Thank you, Brent.
Yeah.
Is there somebody after me?
I think you're asked.
Yeah. Nope. Donna.
Donna Gerard.
Do
Do you need it?
I don't think I need it. Okay. We'll bring New York out. First of all, my name is Donna. I live on Black Levy Drive. And I have to thank Eric because when I made the complaint about the stop sign being on the safety committee, it was taken care of. The one on
Saleview was being blocked.
right,
Yeah.
by the tree.
Yeah.
And it was taken care of,
Both of them
and
were kind of being blocked there. The Saleview one, and
And I'm sure everybody else appreciates it too. That was one thing that was really good. Now, this thing that's happening outside on Orange River, I know you have no control over. We are absolutely powerless and we can't do anything. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. It's the county, or I understand it's not even the county, all this work is being outsourced. So, you know, never know who you're gonna get. That's number two. Number three, these backflow things that they put in on Blackberry. Me, and I think the guy across from me, I don't know his name, we are having some pressure problems.
Okay, we come check it.
Okay, I don't know if it's because of that, or we actually need a new shower head thing, but
We can find out.
yeah, okay, thank you.
I hope that we don't have lose pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
All right, nobody else signed up? Anything else? Oh, Marge, yes, I'm
Just a
sorry.
quickie question. Are there gonna be lights on that path from, out to Sailview? The new path, are you gonna have lighting on that?
I think we should have it,
Okay.
yeah,
That's all I have.
yes.
If we buy gutter guards, those snap-on ones, can we put a work order on, and have him put it on for us?
We can check it out if they'll work on the gutter or not. Yeah, we can check it out.
Because they're not that expensive, but for you to buy them for the entire community, that's expensive. It's our responsibility, but it happens all the time under those trees, and it's bad. It gets, you know.
Let's talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Well, it was a longer meeting than normal tonight, but nobody else has anything else they would like to offer, then we will take a motion to dismiss.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, motion passes, and good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out.
I'll take up.
Well, I was gonna try to put them on today.
So I can't call you at 7, right? Okay, I'll wait till 10.
And have your coffee, right?
So, yeah, I'll see this one.
I don't know how many of those
easier transition.
That's
what we
And that would be on the west side of your driveway.
When I'm looking at the house, no,
On the right side.
because on the other side against the garage, beautiful desert rose plants. And we've got to move over.
Thank God I was out there.
And I get a trend every year, Shannon comes and does it for me. And gets a trend, but I can't get out of the car because of those, and I don't want to get rid of it.
I will talk to him about it.
Thank you. Oh, no problem. Thank you.
When do you do your walk around?
Oh, I do them almost every day. I think I'm
Whenever
a different.
anybody walking around our house.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but then I have a little dachshund, I'll track her if she's up to walking, because she's old, but, so I can't have her every time, but yeah, but my little brown and black dog, black and brown dog. Let's see, up the path, the building that's on the lake, but that's pink, that's that way, that's the sideways instead of the front ways.
I'll touch
I
base
was right
with you
there.
when I get home tomorrow. If it works, fine, great. Otherwise, we'll make it today. But we were already.
Well, I had mentioned to him in one town hall when Jim and that it never was anything official, so I wanted to get it before the vote.
Yeah. Let me ask you a quick question then, Ann, because he was saying something about if we hold the vinyl fencing. Right now it shows 2, but you can get chain link that, like we used to have here, that has like that, so that it does.
You guys want to be able to see?
It hides what goes on over there, because ultimately there's going to be buildings over there and everything. So.
Well, I don't want it 10 feet high, I want.
So when you're sitting on your lanai, you're not looking at it.
See, but actually, they're supposed to put the hedge up. So if they put the hedge along the other, their side.
Say they're putting 3 rows of hedging trees.
Yeah, but, so,
So then maybe chain link wouldn't be bad if they're putting a hedge up.
Yeah.
Just to replace, so we don't have to do permitting and everything.
No, we just replaced it, yeah.
Okay.
But I do want to move, let's take our land back, And I'm sure the reason they did that was because of the beautiful wooded area that we had there. I had trees, birds in and out all the time.
But it's not just the overgrown stuff.
Well, now it's, actually, that picture was the worst. I mean, that's 10 feet above the fence.
Yeah.
If you can even see the fence.
Yeah.
I want
I could print
programs.
these out for you, you don't have to go to Walgreens.
Yeah.
Just email me.
I somehow reason or other they did duplicates. I didn't mean to do duplicates. I only wanted 3 of them, but.
Yeah, you could-
All right. Thanks, Ann. Yes, sir.
That laugh, yeah.
What can I do you out?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
This is for you to read in private.
Oh.
I mean private.
Okay. All right, I'll just stick it in my phone. When I get home. There it is. Okay.
Tell her about the new people. The lady that fell today. Just
New
because-
person on the, like
Yeah, just.
Janet Farrell's place, which you probably remember, 96,
Yeah.
80, whatever, Windsor Club.
Can I get an index card?
Yeah, they're in her desk in one of the top 2 drawers.
People bought it sight unseen from whatever. Well, today was the first day. Let me preface this by saying why Janet was there. I don't know if you know Janet Farrell, probably not.
No, this part doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm gonna tell you why I got there. I kept my motorcycle in her garage because she wasn't around and blah, blah, blah. And she was all places. Anyway, I saw a car in the driveway this afternoon, and I stopped at the door. This guy's about 5 foot 4, blah, 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 blah.
Is his name Nick?
And he said,
Yes.
I met him in here the other day.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
well, his wife fell this morning and broke her back and her shoulder in the shower.
No.
Yes,
She's an
first
awesome.
day here, and she fell and broke her shoulder. So just FYI, because, you know, Pine Ridge, like we send, what, the hospitality.
In fact, Sue has his folder, but she
Yeah, we were
was
just
away
asking
for a couple of days. so
Sharon, that was the guy.
That's the guy. And so I said, oh, somebody's gonna come, either Janice or Sue, they have your folder. And the only reason I knew that was because Sue got it and she didn't have time to go over and see them before she left for New York. So she's back. In fact,
What a
today she
shame.
had to take
Yeah.
Wow.
whatever his last name.
Her
is,
back
to the
and her
doctor,
neck?
to the cardiologist or something. I don't know, something was going on. So I bet she'll be around tomorrow
Just
to
tell her.
answer questions and
Only
to.
him that's
Only
there.
Okay.
No, we need to send a